Hey folks, it's Zach.
Cody.
Welcome to Discovering Unique Hobbies, the podcast. Tonight's episode is all about the fascinating world of sports memorabilia. For tonight's guest, we have Tom and Jessica, the founders and creators of Trippy Eyes Group Breaks over on Facebook. So make sure you tune in, grab your favorite snack, get comfy, and let's dive into this exciting episode together. I like that one.
Good.
How we doing, dude? How we doing? Cheers to another episode.
Cheers with an imaginary glass. Cheers.
Woo.
Yeah, excited to be here.
Man.
I know a lot of people probably don't realize, or of course they don't know how much we talk, but I talked to Zach throughout the day via text, so it's always nice to see his face. Sometimes. I shouldn't say always.
Nah, I'm okay.
So I love the fact that we're doing a sports memorabilia thing, and I'm a complete novice and outside of trading cards, and I see in your back that you got a ton of stuff, right?
Yeah, I got some stuff out here tonight. Well, the guest we have tonight, I have some stuff on my wall from them, so it's gonna be pretty neat.
You mean you bought it from them?
Well, I got a couple of the helmets that I have up there, my Justin Fields that I showed last episode. Both of those, all three of them actually came from their group breaks on Facebook or eBay.
Really? I legitimately did not know that.
Yeah.
So
to kind of educate some folks, have you ever do you know what a group break or sports memorabilia break is or anything like that?
other than the research I did for this episode, I had no idea what that meant.
Okay. Was that episode texting me? Was that a research texting me rather?
No, I did some
it.
research, but that's how it started.
Awesome. So essentially, I got in with them off of a random eBay break for helmets. My little brother Preston, who's producer, he was up for maybe it was the Steelers preseason game or something like that. And just messing around, I'm like, hey, let's see if we can win a couple of helmets. I went into eBay and I won. I won the Packers and maybe another team, and that meant that any from the break that they have when they do a live unboxing of whatever happens to be in that break, and this specific one happened to be I think 3 mini helmets. You don't know what's in the box. The breakers are supposed to not know what's in the box, and they do a live video where they essentially unbox whatever is there, and whatever there is comes out of those boxes will go to whoever won those. So I won. Whoever came was a Dave. I can't remember the old guy from '67. It was a Hall of Famer. But I got the Packers, won that one, and then I have a Breece Hall up here that had the Jets from a break one time. It's really fun, but it's a gray area on the gambling kind of talk.
Well, it's definitely an interesting concept for sure.
Yeah. You see more folks do it with like cards. We'll talk about that as well. I don't think they do too much of the like card breaks, but sometimes there's a lot of money that can be thrown into somebody doing a bunch of hobby boxes from.
Yeah, so I was going to ask
tops.
that. Are there hobby boxes that are outside of like the sports memorabilia? Does the breaker stuff happen outside of this world?
Outside of sports, yeah.
Yeah,
I was in a Disney break today. It's a Topps Chrome 100, like the 100 years or whatever. I was in a Disney break today.
I love some Disney.
And I was in a Star Wars break as well.
Check out the shirt. I just realized I was looking up like what shirt do I have on? Oh, Mandalorian.
Mandalorian, yeah. Oh, speaking of, dude, I don't know how well this will show.
Are we already getting into adult show and tell?
Well, yeah, there's a show and tell is very exciting today. I'm not going to really show much of my stuff until they get on, but there's a new product. It came out in 2022. It's Star Wars. It's Topps 2022 Topps Star Wars Mastercraft, right? Masterwork rather. So this card, it's not much. It's just a base stamp card, but it's
Dude, that's nice.
Mando. Yeah.
It just looks appealing to the eye in general.
Yeah.
It looks sleek.
Yeah.
So where do you put do you store those in a specific area? Or
I was trying to show you a minute ago, but I have a couple of Star Wars cards in here. It's kind of bare right now because I have my favorite Darth Maul autograph off to being sent to PSA. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I keep all my nice ones in there. Last week I actually hit a card. It was a sketch card, which I'll pull out during our break when we have a little intermission. But it was a sketch card of the frog lady from season 1 of Mandalorian, or her husband, one of the two.
Oh, I
And
remember that. The one with the
yeah,
baby, right? They had a
yeah,
baby.
the eggs,
Yeah,
the
the eggs.
eggs
That's
that
it.
Grogu ate, and it's two cards. It's a set. It's one of two. So each card is a one of one, but they make a set, and it's the two frogs putting their heads together in one card. It's really neat. I'll have to show you. But Topps has people like commissioned to do, I guess, Star Wars imagery, and then they can put that sketch onto a card,
Yeah.
and they're all, like I said, one of ones. And generally, and I actually reached out to the author of this card on Instagram. I think I told you about that, and she's apparently Topps does not pay those folks. I didn't learn this from her, so this is all allegedly. But Topps apparently does not pay them very well. What they get paid is the royalties of folks seeing their card, and then going to their going to their website and making pay a purchase from there. But she was really cool. She said that her sister got her into art, and they would be potentially interested in getting on, so maybe a featured guest from Portugal.
That's fun. That's
Yeah.
cool. That's always good. We're starting to plan out some more interesting and unique guests. I do have, ironically, we posted a video earlier on our TikTok at the podcast, DUH the podcast.
Well, that popped up.
Yeah, and so I have a little shelf in my office here that I featured. I'm still adding to it, but I got inspired to add to my Goonies and Neverending Story and Ric Flair collection. So I ordered
I'm proud of
2
you.
collectibles today.
Nice. What you get. Oh wait, don't tell me. Or should we have this as your show and tell?
Well, I ordered them today. Well, maybe when we get them. So I'm interested to see what they actually look like. So I'm a huge fan of Rocky too. Rocky as well. Rocky 3 and
Like
Rocky
Phil,
4.
oh, like Rocky the boxer. Okay.
Rocky 3 and Rocky 4 specifically, Clubber Lang and Dolph Lundgren, for anybody that's a fan. And they're little mini boxing gloves that are signed by, the one pair is signed by Dolph Lundgren, and I don't know if that's how you say his name, I apologize.
Lundgren.
Lundgren, okay.
Something close to that.
And Sly on the other glove, the little tiny glove. And then the other one is Mr. T's signature and
Nice,
Sly's.
dude.
Yeah,
Awesome.
God only knows if they're real, but we'll see. But I felt like it would have been it was a nice addition to that little shelf up there. So I just like to dabble in the collections to kind of add to. It makes me feel better in my office. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it.
Is that where it starts?
Yeah, this is exactly where it starts. And you have like the holiday armadillo up here next to holiday Santa Goofy. So
Yeah. Does it not make you smile a little bit when you look at this stuff? I do get that.
Yeah,
I feel it.
Going back to our TikTok, whenever I brought out that George Pickens card that I hit the other day. I mean, let me tell you, that card came from Redemption. Are you familiar with? I'm assuming you know what that is. It came out on a little white card. It says congratulations.
Okay, yeah.
You get this card, you scratch off a code, send it to the company.
Makes sense.
They send you back. I wasn't expecting it to be numbered. The card's only numbered to 49. So it is a player used patch, and it's autographed. And I'm pretty sure the patches is part of his number or name.
Okay.
But it's really neat. So that's really one of my hobby. Is I'm kind of going to have to take a step back. I want my hobby to be the podcast. But yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we're finding our own hobby. I've always been interested in this type of thing, and hopefully, I don't know. Our audience, or eventual audience, or grilling audience can be the judge of that. But I don't know of anybody that gets worse with practice. So I'm just, every time we have one of these episodes, because we've been filming a bunch, and it is super interesting, at least for me, inquisitive. I'm just inquisitive by nature, and pretty much every time I get off one of these episodes, I want to go do whatever it is that I just learned.
Yeah.
So at the very least, we're gonna try some pretty cool things out, and as you know, I don't want to get into too many spoilers, but we're gonna be venturing out, probably trying a couple of these hobbies out, and doing a little bit of a vlog type deal, and giving that a go.
Oh yeah, I'd like to do a vlog. It'd be nice. Go to our YouTube. Discovering.
Yeah, and I think we could. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we'll try to record something whenever I'm in LA in a couple weeks.
Nice.
I feel like we need to get maybe an on-site. There's got to be some hobby people out there.
I would say so.
Maybe we just randomly find some Disney hobbyists, and I ask them live to be on our pod. I don't know. We'll give it a go.
You should. Yeah, just do live. Just do live questions.
Get shot down.
Dude, fuck Mary Kill. Random people.
Did you see the people that do the basketball hoop, like on TikTok, where they're they'll just roll out this hoop and throw a basketball at somebody and see if they try to shoot it and score. You know what I mean?
I think I've seen like, some semblance of that. Yeah.
We should try to think of something that is similar but more to our niche. So
Yeah.
we'll give it a go.
So in efforts to kind of keep the theme of the episode with the sports memorabilia, I know that you gave me quite a few of your cards.
Yep.
Going through that past episode with Dusty, you said that you still had some at the house that you were needing to go through. So tell me about like kind of.
Well, hold on. Can I show you one real quick because it happens to be within my.
Absolutely, you can, because that's kind of why I was asking.
Yeah, sorry. I just happened to see it out of the corner of my eye while you do that. But go ahead. What are you saying?
That was it. I was going to say, like, tell me. I mean, what kind of sports memorabilia do you have? Lambert? Jack Lambert. Nice.
Jack Lambert.
That's my stepdad's favorite player.
So back on my shelf, I do have a terrible towel. I'm not sure why my light's flickering in there, but it's fun. But we have a terrible towel.
Yeah.
So I guess I do. I have a NWA TV title in the back. Television title worn by Arn A.A. Anderson. So
NWA?
Yeah. Do you know what that is? No. It's a National
I
Wrestling
can't say
Alliance.
that. Oh.
There's a movie that was just out, The Iron Claw. Very heavily featured in that movie was wrestling and everybody liked it.
The rap group?
Oh, yeah.
I can't say that.
Not that same acronym.
Okay.
But no. I mean, I have. I've always been a huge fan of sports, so I have some Penguins pucks, a couple things like that. But
Nice.
I also get annoyed and then box stuff up like I did with you and end up giving it away. Hence the reason why I'm not a true collector.
It is what it is, man. You grow out of
Yeah.
stuff. You know, it's hoarding. It happens. I just keep my stuff.
Do you remember
myself.
any of the? Was there any? I can't remember what I gave you, but I think there was a couple. I think there was a Chipper Jones in there, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was some good stuff. I mean, there's honestly still in the little plastic bins. They're still in there. They're in one of the closets upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot. There's a lot of stuff to go through. I don't remember.
I may have asked you this before on one of the episodes that we filmed. That I'm not sure if I did. I apologize. But what is your most prized sports memorabilia possession?
Well, I guess it depends. Like, my favorite happens. I mean, it depends. If I'm looking at stuff that I've gotten myself, it may very well be a Jordan Love autograph that I have being sent off to PSA as well.
Nice.
I hit that right before they started going on a tear. It was right before they beat the Chiefs. Only 10 of them, so that was pretty nice. So that's probably one of my more favorites. One of my, more modern. But my grandmother gave me a signed Greg Maddux ball that's actually right here.
That's so.
Yeah, I mentioned that one before, and then it came with a Greg Maddux mural up there as well. Maybe I can get it down sometime, but that's probably my favorite. Like, my grandmother got me into like the sports memorabilia game, as weird as that is.
Yeah.
And then
There's nothing wrong with that. I used to go to a baseball card store right by my grandma's house, so
Yeah.
I think it used to be a different time, and I kind of miss it, honestly.
I go to one by work all the time, but she's also got me into Coca-Cola. So I think in a few weeks, I got a lot of Coca-Cola stuff for Christmas. I haven't really
Like vintage signs and stuff, or
I'll have to show you at a later time. There's some signage, but it's I don't know. I have like a Coca-Cola bear over there, like a Funko Pop, Coca-Cola bear over there. I do have some signage. There's different things you'll find at like a thrift store.
that's
A
cool.
soft spot for that stuff, I guess.
Yeah, so I do have one more question. So you have two that you mentioned so far, two items. So I was going to ask you a follow-up question of if you had to pick only three, what were you going to choose? So I know two of them. What would be the third?
Okay, only three for
just to have for the rest of your life.
things I currently
You had to
have.
get out of all your collectibles. You had to get rid of everything else.
Man, that's difficult.
We can come back.
All
to
my
that.
collectibles, I I'll have to. That'll have to be.
So like, all
homework
right.
assignment.
So hold on. So we can do that. I do want it to be a homework assignment. That's
Yeah.
fine. But all right, let's just say somebody's running down the stairs right now. You're
Yeah.
grabbing 3 things. What are you grabbing?
Probably that new George Pickens.
Okay, what else?
My Dell Earnhardt
Okay.
BGS 9.5, and probably the Freddie Freeman patch auto that I have in there as well.
Isn't it amazing how that works? When you put, I don't know if those are
But-
going to
but
be
here's
your
the thing.
3.
Those are the first thing that came to mind. It doesn't mean those are the 3 that I make the decision on.
I'm curious to see because that reminded me of how you asked the video game question. Like, what do you think of when you think of
Yeah.
PlayStation? It's kind of the same idea because it makes your juices flow. But it's cool to see how excited your mind was. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah,
you started thinking about the Pickens thing, and you can see it.
Yeah, it's been a long day. I should have had an answer quicker. But honestly, I'm torn though because I want to put that Paul Skeens autograph out of 5 on there that's also gone to PSA. There's the Darth Maul that I've mentioned. I want to put that up there. It's difficult. But then I have from a basketball camp I attended in the summer of 4th or going into 5th or 6th grade, one of those summers. I was at Oak Hill Academy, which is I guess a kind of a boarding school back home in Virginia, but they are like a nationally ranked high school basketball program. Like Carmelo Anthony went there, Jerry Stackhouse, like big names went there. So I went to the basketball camp there. It's like a 5-day, 6-day event. Do you know the singer Bruce Hornsby? This is gonna sound random.
Hold on. I know.
You hold
I
on.
know it's a slower song. I know that. And
Well,
it's
no, okay.
from.
He's saying like he was bigger, I would say, in the 90s.
No. I know his song, and I was trying to think of it. Keep going.
Well, he sang it to the national anthem.
Okay.
So a few years later, I'm at basketball camp, and there are these 2 twins that happen to be on my 3-on-3 team. We almost won the title there, but sorry, I got a random phone call coming in.
Okay.
But Bruce Hornsby, his sons, he has 2 sons, one Keith, and I can't remember the other. They were on my 3-on-3 team. And I was going into 5th or 6th grade, and I'm sitting there. Those 2 were much better than me. There were 4 people for every 3-on-3 team. I always started at the bench because I sucked. But I'm sitting there on the bench, and who's sitting next to me is Bruce Hornsby. And I had no idea who that was. I'm just sitting there talking to him as much as like a 5-year-old, 10-year-old brain could, talk. And it wasn't until I left and Mom goes, "Oh my God, that's Bruce Hornsby," and
she knew who he was, obviously.
she absolutely did. And he was just another dad. I was just like, they're good at basketball. They know what they're doing, kind of thing. But
I love it. Sorry, I'm trying to.
You're good, man.
Trying to get ready. So are we going to be taking a break soon? I'm assuming.
We can, yeah.
So when, because I know we'll probably cut this out. When are our guests coming on? What is that?
Brian Hayes.
Oh yeah, that's he was one of the Pirates picks when.
Golden Glove. He plays there now.
No, I'm saying when was he picked? Notice
I
notice
don't
the
know.
hat.
Oh yeah, I can
Used
see
to
that.
be a diehard fan, not so much.
And then I got another one. This is Warren Zaire Emery, plays for the same team that Kylian Mbappe currently plays for.
Nice.
So that's fun.
You know what I used to collect that I just forgot about until now? Pennants.
Oh fuck yeah.
Do you remember the pennants? Do they
man.
still make those? Maybe I
They
should ask
have.
our guests.
Let's do it. Let's bring them on.
Nice to meet you guys, by the way.
Nice to meet you. I'm Jessica.
I'm Tom.
What's up, guys?
Cody.
Yes. So I was trying to give him a little bit of a breakdown of card breaks, but we'll get into that. Is this y'all's first podcast?
Yep.
It is.
It's our
Nice.
very first.
Nice. Okay. Well, I guess we can just go ahead and get into it then, if you're okay with that, Cody. We'll just go ahead and throw some
good.
snowball questions if y'all are good with that.
Yeah.
So obviously we're here interviewing Trippy Eyes Breaks. Excited to have you all here.
Yeah. Thanks for having
Excited
us.
to be here.
Absolutely. So for starters, let's let the dozens of listeners we have, just tell us a little bit about, who you all are and how you kind of got started and kind of what kind of fuels your hobby.
You want to start?
So it all got started, I was born and raised on sports. I played baseball since I was like 4 years old, t-ball all the way to high school. Was going to play college. I hurt my shoulder, screwed up. I've always been a big fan, but it was mainly baseball. I collected cards my entire life, memorabilia, everything. But I started getting into actual breaks myself. Heard from a friend at work. He's like, "Hey man, get in some breaks. It's really cool." I didn't even know anything about it. Got into it, and I just loved it. I was like, dude, this is it. This is what I love. Like, I started getting the breaks all the time. Then I started like, I'm gonna get into it and start flipping cards. And the next thing you know is I was getting into breaks way more than flipping the cards. I was loving it so much. So
let's make sure we
I
don't talk
decided to
about money.
Yeah, well, so I do want to. Can I chime in real
start doing
quick?
The same thing, and then maybe I can take the leftover teams and that'll be part of my break. And that's how I kind of started out doing it, and it's just a lot of fun.
And truth be told, he started out getting real obsessed with garbage pail kit cards.
That is true.
Oh my goodness!
I always love garbage
what
pail
in the
kids.
world?
I'm surprised that a lot of people don't know there was a Cootie Cody that I remember specifically.
We have
I got
every
Cootie
single
Yeah,
garbage
do
pail
you?
kit
Oh man!
card. I mean, like when I tell you he started going, I was like, "What in the hell? Are you allowed to cuss on this thing?"
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
I was like, "What the hell is all this stuff?" I mean, if you could see our basement, it's just absolutely ridiculous. And so then he's like, "No, you don't understand." And it turned into he got into the breaks way too much.
But
Can you shed some light on
buying garbage pail kid? Just brought me back to the younger
Can you shed
years.
some light into what a break is? I'm sorry to interrupt. I just want to make sure that all the listeners.
Oh yeah,
So
that's
like
one thing.
I didn't know what a break was when I first saw the messages. We were all going back and forth. So can you explain what the term break means to our audience?
So
No,
break.
So sorry about that.
So a break. First, there's different types of break, but in general, a sports break is when you can either bid on a specific team, either baseball, football, whatever sport. So we'll give an example: football. You can bid on any of the 32 teams. Say you win that bid, or you just pay for that spot or team, which it could be, from Facebook and not just an auction style. But you get into that break looking for whatever team that you won or paid into. If it's going to be cards or memorabilia, if that break and the breaker pulls any of those specific teams or players, there's all different ways you can do it. But pretty much it's a gamble to get, cards, memorabilia, or any of those kind of things.
So like the card boxes that you see like at Target or whatever, even like those where you just it's basically you're opening the packs of cards in front of people, or the box with the jersey in it, or a helmet or whatever. You just open it's like unboxing basically, really live, except you have gambled on a team. So
you could save a lot of money that way. Instead of buying the actual hobby box for $300-$400, you can just bid on. Hey, I want to bid on the Dolphins for $20. Hopefully you hit a nice card. I mean, there's same thing in memorabilia. So there's all different brands of TriStar, Fire Factory, RSA. Instead of buying those boxes, you can just bid on your team and hopefully get, something you love, your team.
In theory.
So I got involved because when he started having this idea to kind of do it and going live and everything, it's a little camera shy. And I don't really care. So
so you guys are like a yin and yang. You have one that
and I'm
that's
like,
cool.
okay, well, I mean, I know about sports, but I've never like dug real deep into the sports world, and I'm like, NFL has become.
You are like you're on it.
I'm gonna be an expert next year, okay?
She is 100%.
So I started just helping.
So I know Zach is a degenerate gambler, may or may not be.
Not a gambler.
I had a question. Okay.
I have a question.
What's that?
Which one was it?
It was one about the. Well, we just did it. So.
Well, you just asked because I don't remember now.
So we have a little bit of like a script going on here, and we got ahead of ourselves, and you answered the questions that we needed. So
it threw me off whenever you guys are answering questions ahead of time. So I'm sitting here like, oh my god.
No, it's actually what's cool is we're running through this organically. So I like it. So what was the origin of interest? Like what originally sparked? So you mentioned the sports, the love of sports. So is that really where it kind of started?
For me, I would say I really enjoy the sports part. Tom he is really into the value and the quality and the business side of it. When you say,
I've been collecting since I was 5 years old. I mean, every time I went to a store with my mom, I got a pack of cards. That was what I wanted.
Yeah.
And then then getting into breaks just kind of brought that all back to me, without buying every box there is in the world. I can just, pick my players on my favorite teams and get cards and watch it live and watch it be open. It's really cool. I just loved it.
It's like interactive too, right?
It's a fun community.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it really can be.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Zach, you've actually you've done this before.
Yeah, I've been in a couple of breaks of theirs. I got back into card breaks.
Zach.
Yeah, I I was trying to. I have a good friend. His name is Tanner Jackson, and he's actually a friend of my stepdad. His best friend of him. And I was trying to send him a picture of this new Justin Fields helmet I got, and I sent it to Tom.
Oh, you got the Justin Fields?
Yeah, that's this one right here. Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah.
And I always screw that team up. That's like my screw up constantly. Like the Cubs.
So what do we have hanging in the back there? By the way, I see a number 1 jersey in the back.
It looks like somebody's out of the playoffs.
Eagles fan down here in Georgia. Of course, I grew up just supporting the Falcons.
Oh, go Braves! Go Braves!
yeah, go
The
Braves.
diehard Eagle
But
fan, even though they're not.
I'll be honest with you. Like at the beginning, when I was like, okay, I really need to start like learning about this stuff. So I started watching like documentaries, like the Kelsey documentary. So I became we watched the Super Bowl at his parents last year, and I didn't correlate the whole significance of like that family game, and so so I really started wanting the Eagles to have a good round this year for Jason in particular. But then the more I started, so it started like that, and then I became
Sexiest man alive.
a fan. When we
Good
pulled
luck
out
on his
like,
retirement.
Slay, I'm like, oh, that's an awesome name.
Yeah.
And then I
Darius
realized
Slay,
there's so many Georgia players on the Eagles team. So I'm like,
George
The
Pickens.
fans are so ratchet. So Tom got this Jalen Hurts
It is badass.
memorabilia.
That is
Frank
nice.
jersey,
Yeah.
JSA certified. It's cool.
Yeah,
That is
Aaron,
a Eagles fan.
my Andrew Jones and my Chipper Jones, they're both through JSA.
Yeah, see, I grew
Very
up.
nice.
I grew up really watching more baseball because I used to go to baseball games with my grandparents, the Braves, all the time. Back in the Andrew Jones, Chipper Jones, Javi Lopez, all them.
Walt Weiss.
We have some. I have some terrible memories of Sid Bream. Oh God, the whole Braves in the 91, 92, that whole era. So if you guys are
95,
94,
96,
got
97, 98.
Tom
Yeah.
Glavine, all those that
Smoltz.
pitching.
John
Yeah, Smoltz.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but that stuff.
love
I mean,
John Smoltz.
you can't replace that kind of joy that you
Oh, it
get.
was fun.
Is that and it's something that you just. Before I forget to say, I really do hope we have a Detroit and
Packers.
Kansas City Super Bowl.
Yes,
No,
Come
after-
on,
after-
dude! Can you imagine having Eminem and on one side and Taylor Swift on the other side?
This is the
It's
ideal
hilarious.
Super Bowl. The
Okay.
ideal Super Bowl is Green Bay beating Detroit in Detroit to get to
That
the
was
Super
cool.
Bowl.
That-
And that's just mean. Go Pack, go. And then I don't care who they beat. To
See, I'm
get,
so torn. I've gotten so
I'm playing
emotionally
me.
attached to the different teams for different
I was really
reasons.
impressed with Green Bay just whooping up on
Yeah,
the Cowboys.
I've
I could
enjoyed
not-
watching
I did not
them.
expect that.
How about them Cowboys?
Green Bay, Lions,
Yeah.
I'm rooting for the Lions. Of course, the Chiefs are my next part of my favorite. I'm a huge Kelsey, Travis Kelsey fan, and I love him.
is that Taylor Swift's boyfriend?
Yeah.
So I'm
I
gonna
think
bring us back if it's okay.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm sure we could all talk about sports all day, but I'm gonna bring us back if it's all right. And
I finally remembered my question, Cody.
shoot.
So, Tom, if you're thinking back to your childhood and all of like the cards and memorabilia stuff that you've had, if you're thinking back, what's the very first card or memorabilia that you immediately think of that really sparked your interest to get into the collecting game?
That really sparked. So, I said I played baseball my whole life. One of my baseball teams, I was probably like 10 years old. I was collecting cards by then and stuff. But we had a baseball party just to celebrate. We were the champions, and we went to a bowling alley.
Yeah.
We were all bowling and everything, and all of a sudden you hear everybody screaming, and I was like, what? And you'll never believe it, but Dan, the man Marina, was just walking around
Pittsburgh's
the
finest.
bowling alley. He had an autistic child. He was with his family, but he was literally the coolest guy. He stopped
Yeah.
and
Really?
signed all of our autographs. I mean, we had napkins, whatever we could find. But I mean, just since then, I've always been, I was always a diehard Dolphins fan, but
Yeah,
just
my dad was
sports
too.
in general. He was like somebody like really like gave a crap about people, and he was just a legend. And I just always just loved it. And that was one of my first memorabilia pieces.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I still have that. It's
Nice.
not on Facebook, but I have my napkin.
You know,
It's not authenticated, but
No, that's incredible though, because I've heard the exact opposite. You know, living here in Pittsburgh, I've heard the exact opposite about Dan Marino, that he's kind of
really,
a prick.
That's
a good story. I like hearing.
People
like
in Pittsburgh get bitter. I really feel like they're mad that we never got them. I really feel like that. Yeah, I mean, listen.
Mike Tomlin should never lose a football game. Never.
So what would you guys? So this is just a question that just came to my mind. I think I asked Zach this earlier too, because I am really interested in these breaks now, because it sounds like adult LOL balls, where you're like, my daughter will open like these things and these little surprises, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So does it reach into other hobbies? I'm assuming it does, like outside of sports memorabilia.
oh, there's
The breaks.
Well, one thing that I've picked up with just the sports is doing like designing the visors, like on this. I mean, I'm assuming that's a hobby,
that's
but
awesome.
coming up kind of artistic with them and just having fun with them.
There's literally just designers that spark things up. But there's hobby boxes for everything. There's non-sports like Garbage Pail Kids. There's Star Trek, all kinds of movie series, Stranger Things, Walking Dead. I mean,
You had me at Garbage Pail
memorabilia
Kids. I
from
cannot believe they still make those.
Yeah, and there's
Garbage
like
Pail.
chasers and everything. Like Hit Parade has a lot of the Garbage Pail Kids, so it'll be a numbered series, and like you'll be chasing after an atom bomb, PSA 9 or 10, which is of course like phenomenal. I mean,
Yeah, I had no idea that it was such a big.
there's all kinds, every sport and non-sport, movies, cartoons. I mean, Ninja Turtles. I have old school Ninja Turtle stuff, but now they still have mystery boxes for Ninja Turtle items, cool things like that. It's cool.
That's awesome.
I have a couple of autos from Clone Wars.
There you go. There you go, dude.
That's not
So
what I was
are you-
looking for, but I did.
So are you able to walk us through kind of the from the beginning of Trippy Eyes breaks to like when its inception to now, and kind of how that progressed and where you're at now with everything?
So the whole Trippy Eyes breaks, Trippy Eyes was actually a clothing brand I started, and I just always loved Trippy Eyes. I don't know why, but
I was
when
going to
got
ask where that name came from.
when I got into the sports, like cards and breaks and memorabilia, I was like, you know what? I'm going to start Trippy Eyes breaks.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. And I started off on eBay, and I did it for about a year straight, mostly doing card breaks. Then I started getting into the memorabilia. But then, of course, eBay had that whole thing where they stop a lot of sellers, and you have to like apply and do all this kind of stuff. So I still do eBay, but it's not as fast as the category. You have to switch different categories. So I actually switched up and moved to Facebook. And that was a whole new world itself. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know about it.
Is that your number one platform? Would you say Facebook and
As
social
of right
media?
now, Facebook is my number one platform. But I did do an interview with Whatnot, and we got accepted, which was they had to do a whole video process. It was pretty
I know.
cool. But
I know a guy that works with Whatnot. If you guys need any.
yeah, but no, we got on there, and we haven't really started yet, but we're about to go ahead and start and get into that world. But Facebook is a whole new world, and that's the one we're pretty much focusing on because it's really great. And
we're still real new with it too. I mean, we have so much. We basically do the mini helmets, footballs, and jerseys. But it kind of started with, like you said, with just the card breaks and YouTube, eBay and YouTube.
I would upload videos from eBay breaks to YouTube, and then get a little following there. And
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
I started a break group with a couple of buddies from down in Nashville. Cool Beans Collectibles. I have a Cool Beans tattoo. So
Cool
kinda-
Beans.
So we started that, and it kind of tapered off a lot. We got scammed by somebody off of Twitter. That it was about $500, so it kind of deflated us on the flipping game, and then
That's a big risk with the sports memorabilia stuff. We've learned that a few times the hard way. But
There's always going to be
it's
scammers.
And then you have folks like me who buy into a break and then fall asleep, and then don't pay for the spot until the next day. That was really embarrassing, but here we are. So one thing I was wondering, so you all do a lot of memorabilia, helmets, obviously. do you all have like an idea of going into like buying cases from Tops, soon to be Fanatics, and doing, card breaks, maybe, higher end hobby breaks like National Treasures, that sort of thing?
I would love to, like National Treasures and Immaculate, all that, because I get into those breaks myself.
Yeah.
I mean, those are like I said, those are those big time. Like, I mean, you got to have, they're pricey for one box. What
They can be, yeah.
1,000, 2,000, and National Treasures. I mean,
The flawless box, the
flawless. Oh.
the suitcase that it comes in, it sells for $1,000. I feel like without the cards.
Yeah.
So how does one? So, and I tend to be asking this on every episode.
Yeah.
How does one get into this? What is the first step to, if I wanted to go, I'm a noob to this. If I wanted
to be a breaker,
just try it out. Just give it a go. See if it's something I'd be interested in. Not making it a hobby, but just participating in and trying. Like where would I go?
Well, for as far as us, you would either go on eBay or go straight to. We have our own Facebook group. It's called Trippy Breaks, where we run everything live, and we have breaks posted up for. Like right now, we have a Fire Factory heat version of a mini helmet, and what you'll do is you'll pick a spot in a team, and you'll pay, I think it's like $14 a spot, and you will actually pick a team, and you get one random team because there's different styles of breaks, but that's all you would do. You just pretty much go and pick your team.
$14 for 2 teams.
And then on eBay, you would actually see all the auctions. You would and say, oh, I want the Dolphins or I want the Chiefs, and you would bid on that team. And if you win that team, you'll have that team for that break. So if it's cards, you'll get the Chiefs cards. If it's memorabilia, anything Chiefs or Dolphins or whatever team you would want.
It's just crazy to me that I never knew this existed.
It's an efficient way to.
It's very addicting.
It is.
It sounds like it.
It's like hitting something on the roulette table. I mean, to somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, there's an adrenaline there. I think that comes with winning. Like,
so it sounds like, Zach, it sounds like you're a part of this or have been a part of this community. So there's a community online and all. Can you tell us about any, maybe a specific memory since you all have been doing this that like some memorable moments within the community or experiences that you've had, or one or two that might stick out to you, and maybe why this is a rewarding hobby?
Super expensive hit, something like that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I feel like is the most memorable times is when we have, I don't know, somebody that usually only gets one spot. I mean, we have several people that will buy half the board, you know what I mean? And
been there, done that.
You have one person that can only get in one spot, and then like the other day we had, was it Walt that got the big hit? One of our members, he's always in our breaks. But he just buys, 1 or 2 spots. He keeps it conservative, which is great. And a couple people bought like 5, 6, 7 spots. Which,
like I said, he closed out with his last little spot from a mini and won a Bo Jackson mini helmet. And that was the only team he got, and he just happened to hit that one.
It's just exciting.
Bo Jackson mini helmet, man. All right.
And when he got it, him and his son share the hobby together, and they were just ecstatic about having this new piece to put in their little showcase thing they got. It was cool. And
it's fun to open up cool stuff, because sometimes, like the other night, Tom sometimes has his own private box breaks without telling anybody, and opens up stuff. And so if we open up one, he's like, "Oh!" Like he wanted it so bad. That's very enjoyable too.
Yeah, I love opening up, just like Bo Jackson. I was like, "Oh my god!"
I don't know what I would have done.
I mean, I'm getting that's just Bo Jackson's one of my. To me, is the best athlete that has ever graced the earth.
I mean, all his Royal stuff from
really,
and then Raiders. I love.
Do you remember the card? I know you guys have to remember this, where he's breaking the bat.
Yep.
There's a specific card.
Yes.
I may have given that to you, Zach, by accident, but
is that Upper Deck?
Maybe.
I think it was an Upper Deck.
I think it is Upper Deck. They're the ones with the diamond, right?
Like breaking the bat. Upper Deck.
But I think it's just fun. It's just fun. We've connected with a lot of people, and I mean, there's a lot of like DM chats. We've made friends with people we've never met, and like then we kind of get to know the regulars and the teams that they like. So,
are there conventions?
Do I know?
Are there conferences, conventions, things like that you guys get involved in? Like, how do you engage in the community? Like, how do you keep your audience engaged and all those things?
Engagement, mostly just from the Facebook point of view, is just running things like every time there's a game, Jessica will go ahead and guess the score. If you win, you get $20 credit to get into a break or whatever thing like that. Raffles, and then there are conventions and things like that. I haven't personally been to any big conventions for Trippy Eyes breaks, just to kind of go and buy and sell. But that would be a spot. That's like my next kind of going, to evolve things and actually going to a signing. I've never been to my own signing and brought products that, hey, sign this Bo Jackson or something like that. I've always just kind of bought into things.
Yeah.
But I think that would be neat. And honestly, we have been talking, and I would like to start our own memorabilia mystery box kind of thing, because I know I could pack some good hits and things for chasers, and I just know it would be a lot of fun like that.
The social media world, especially when you're doing things essentially like social selling, it takes a while. You got to start we have so many things we would like to do, but right now we are still fairly new, honestly. So
about a year and a half.
That's one reason we're still on eBay, to try to bring new people in, and so it's just,
Did I see episode 444 on YouTube, by the way? Or am I losing my mind? I thought I saw you.
Yeah, we do YouTube, because everything on eBay, we do the live on Facebook, but then we post it to YouTube also, because that was where we originally started.
And a lot of people don't have Facebook that will fit in on eBay. They say, hey, I don't have Facebook. How can I watch this? I say, hey, after the live, we always go ahead and post it on YouTube for anybody's.
As someone who gets into breaks, that's very appreciential. I mean, I hate.
We brought people over from YouTube just from talking about Facebook. We have one member that created his entire Facebook just to get a part of it.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but. And he's an older guy. And it's so funny, because he was trying to post stuff, and he posted on Tom's personal wall.
And we're always there to help. I mean, there's always new people, and there's always so many questions. What the heck is that? How do I do this? And I love just educating and learning, because I learn new stuff every day about it.
But is that kind of what drives you to continue to go through with the hobby? Is that the community, and then you be able to assist, help others?
It's a lot. It is a lot.
Yeah, but I would say definitely the community. I mean, it's hard to have adult friends really and find time, and this allows you to kind of do that.
Yeah, you are.
This is my socialization.
You are friends now.
You're recurring guests.
And you really do. I mean, you just get to know people, and the community part is good. I think it's.
Well, you mentioned one of the struggles being scammers. So what other challenges have you seen along the way, and what are some lessons that you've learned maybe along the way as well?
Scammers, the only way we've ever been scammed is because of eBay. So eBay, of course, they don't give a crap. They're buyer. They love the buyers. It doesn't matter what they say. I mean, they can return you an empty package or not get a hit, and then say it was falsely advertised, and they just get refunds. It just becomes a pain in the ass. And there's always a couple there, but what we have learned is once we see any activity like that, or it does happen, I mean, it's an automatic ban and things like that. And then talk about community. A lot of the other breakers, they make other breakers aware of certain Facebook profiles, eBay names, things like that. Say, hey, watch out for this guy. He's in
so there's you guys have each other's back.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's nice. That's cool. That's definitely a community for sure.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
It's been a lot of fun.
So we always look out for that blacklist. It's out there.
Yeah. Just don't fall asleep after placing a bid.
Got close
do you happen to have a favorite break of all time? You maybe Tom and Jessica, can you each give your favorite break? Maybe one that you liked that.
Maybe one that you got in yourself, or
that's what I was referring to. Good call.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I really haven't gotten into any breaks, so that would be Tom gets in. I get into our breaks.
Yeah.
Well, how about that? You can answer your favorite break after Tom.
Honestly,
does that sound good?
My favorite break, and it's what got me into the whole helmet and memorabilia style, because I was doing all the getting into football and baseball card breaks, but I got into a full-size helmet break. And I didn't know what the hell it was. I just did it from eBay, and I watched it live, and there you go. I got a Seahawks DK Metcalf full-size authentic helmet. I remember I showed my boss at work that got me into looking at breaks from eBay. I said, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. But I remember that day, I couldn't believe it. I think I got it for the break was $15. And that helmet goes for an authentic would be at least $400 for DK Metcalf. That was one of my favorite times as
That's awesome.
getting into a break and be like, whoa, that was cool as hell.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, there's a baseball product, and I think there's a football and basketball too, but it's just it's like a $70 box, one card. I think clearly authentic maybe, and really just one box in the entire card, and it's always an autograph. And I
know those.
Yeah, and I got to a break. I got the Braves, and I'm like, I'm gonna hit something today. And then I watched the YouTube videos, like a minute and a half long, and I was like, oh, what the hell happened? And I pulled a Dansby Swanson, clearly Don Rosado.
No way, you were the one.
Yeah, and I didn't realize, and I'm like, I'm never doing those types of breaks again. I'm gonna finish out on top, and
Yeah. So then, that Tom recently started getting into is head-to-heads with cards. Which
tell me about that.
That's a Facebook thing that I just got into, and I love it. So it's called head-to-head, and you pretty much post memorabilia cards. I've just been doing cards like, say I got a PSA 10 CJ Stroud or whatever. That's worth $100. I posted on some there's other Facebook groups that do this, the head-to-head, and I just put head-to-head, CJ Stroud, $100 is for this PSA 10. So it's 7 rounds. They roll 7 rounds from random.org. If you get the top 4, you either you win that item or they would send me $100 if they lost. So it's just head to head. It's like 50-50 chance. Either I win $100, I don't send anybody the card, or if the other guy wins, I send him a card and he pretty much won it for free, but that's my risk.
And so on those breaks, they have people that are called runners that actually where you like when we go live and do the random, they go live and do once he posts the card, it's 4 spots. So he'll get 1 and 2, and the person whoever wants to compete with him gets 3 and 4. And once somebody commits, then they call for a runner who comes in, and that's what he's saying.
7 times, best out of 7 wins.
Whoever wins tips the runner $3 or $5 or whatever. So
it's a fun thing.
Been having fun doing that.
Cool.
That's risky.
It is
risky.
I like
So Jessica, you mentioned that you have a favorite break that you guys did. What would that be?
Oh gosh.
Or maybe a video. Is there like a unboxing that you did, or something that stands out to you that you really enjoyed doing?
Honestly, I really enjoyed the fire factories that we're doing now, where we kind of, because the way we work.
That's what this one came from, ironically enough. Fire factory.
Yeah, they have been awesome.
Nice.
But we at first were doing it 10 box breaks, and where you just you could just hear me, and you couldn't really see him. You just watched the break. So once we switched over to, we're not really doing the 10 boxers anymore, but I really enjoyed all the fire factory.
I love
that.
Fire factory.
They're all seem to be really good, and then it's kind of like we're hosting a podcast.
It kind of is, yeah.
Yeah.
So
and Tom,
I've enjoyed those breaks.
Yeah.
The stuffing.
And Tom, you mentioned you had some ideas brewing. It sounded like, is there anything in the horizon for Trippy Eyes breaks coming up that you maybe can get our audience excited for?
Like a website.
The excited are, like I was saying, is I'm very interested in starting my own mystery box series.
Yeah.
So I already have artists, working on box labels, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of getting everything situated. It's going to be a long thing, but I'm definitely inspired by Fire Factory. They're probably my highest, but Fire Factory, Hit Parade, things like that.
Yeah.
Just kind of
Cool.
style boxes.
Yeah, because then he can be, I think he really enjoys finding really good deals on auctions and stuff. I mean, we have a huge collection of stuff that we can make some really cool boxes with, really. So.
Yeah. So you're thinking cards, memorabilia, I mean, just as long as it's sports.
Even cards, even like you were talking about, those single encased mystery boxes where you got the Dansby Swanson, something like that, like a graded slab, PSA 10 automatic, and then either sell them, do breaks, just kind of that's my next step though, where I'm looking at.
Do you do anything like group submissions or anything like that to PSA Beckett or anything like that?
I have not personally done that. I usually buy the graded slab already graded from auctions and things like that.
Nice. Okay. And then one thing that when I got into the hobby during the pandemic, I learned a lot. And the one big thing for me is like unlicensed material. I'm not big on Panini baseball. I really won't touch it unless maybe it's National Treasures and it's a Braves player, something like that.
Yeah.
Is there something like a piece of advice that you could give an aspiring collector, someone that's just starting out, that maybe it's memorabilia, maybe it's cards, something to look out for to maybe avoid getting scammed or maybe truly maximize what they put in?
So like you were saying, like Panini and all that, since they're not licensed, I've never had any trouble or seen what the difference would be except maybe value. But as far as memorabilia and getting scammed, I mean, you have got to use the top authenticators. I mean, no questions asked. I mean, there's a million authenticators that they can say, oh, this Joe Blow signed this with a piece of paper.
Here's a photo. I promise this is real.
I personally only trust if it's going to be Beckett, Sports, JSA, PSA, or like Rack. I mean, there's a couple other ones out there, but other than that, like, it's not authenticated by them. I don't buy it or believe it because there's just no way to really, look into it and get a valid answer where it's put in the system like this was signed and witnessed in a real autograph.
And I would say one thing to look out for, especially if you're getting memorabilia from eBay, is that once you get it, you need to open it and check it because you have 3 days to open up a return, because we have gotten some things, open it, try to verify it, and it was not.
That's good to know.
They only give you 3 days, or they say, oh, you can't do it, which is, I like that rule because it prevents a lot of scams. They don't give you a 30-day return. Sports memorabilia or like cards and things like that, because they know it's it could be very fraudulent. Scammers like sending you back some piece of crap card after you just sent them $100 card. So it's just ways to protect people.
Yeah, I've had some issues with that. I had a guy say that the card never delivered. He goes, UPS said that it was here, but they came up to my front door. And it happened to be that I sent somebody the wrong card. People make mistakes, but I sent
I've done that.
Tom has done that.
Right.
I've been very fortunate.
Well, it sucked because the card was a Michael Pittman rookie patch auto out of 4. Literally one of 4. And a guy from the UK bought it. I shipped him the card. He opened it a month later because it went to like a P.O. box or whatever he has. But the guy who got the Pittman is in like Memphis, and he said they just never delivered it. They never delivered it. And he never opened up a claim saying, hey, I want my $70 back, because he purchased a Sauce Gardner rookie patch auto from Certified. So the Pittman went to Tennessee, the Sauce Gardner went to the UK, and it was a lot.
It's all right.
I mean, we got it taken care of, and I let the dude keep the sauce. I'm like, I messed up. You just keep it. It'll be more pain to ship it back. So I mean, it can be stressful at times, but we're here.
I have done that.
Yeah.
So are we all open? We're getting down to the wire, Zach.
Oh yeah, Cody does have to head out here soon.
But I do have a question, because I think it would be really cool. And my gears are going. I want to try this specifically from you guys. So Zach, so what we'll do, if you're okay with it, Zach, and everybody's okay with it, I'll experience it. We'll film it.
Are you guys okay with doing that? Like, we have some video portion of this? Of course.
Yeah, I just feel like it'd be cool. I want to try it.
You go on eBay right now. We have auctions ending now. We just have one of the divisional breaks, just like you did, Zach, with the Fire Factory mini helmet.
I love divisional breaks,
RSA
man.
mini helmet, and one Jersey Fusion. The 3-box break, and it's just, you pick your 8 divisions or whatever division you want. You get 4 teams in that break. So
I think that's what we'll do.
It's live tonight at 10:45.
I'm excited. Let's talk, Zach, because
we can do that. I can.
This is genuine, Tom and Jessica. Completely genuine. You had me at the garbage pail kids. No Jackson.
I got some cool cards.
I mean, I was like, what in the hell is that?
She was like, what is this?
It's the Booger Kid.
They used to give those out. I mean, I'm telling my age here, but they used to give those out with the ice cream truck when I was a kid.
You're
So-
probably
I wish my ice cream man.
I'll just say I was born in the early 80s. Let's just start there.
So is
So was I.
he. So is he.
80,
Okay.
I'm 40
Early
years old.
90s. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm an elder millennial.
I
So,
made it.
I'm a geriatric
made
millennial.
it only by 88.
There we go. There we
Okay.
go. I'm 91, so I'm hanging in. I'm almost.
So
there.
I'm legitimately it is called the geriatric millennial. It's a fun little title, like between Gen X and millennial.
Yeah.
Tom, I think you might be that as well. At the
I, you know what? That's That's why that's me. When
The
we send
boomer
our-
millennial.
Boomer millennial.
Bunch of old men here.
But this has been awesome.
Yeah, it's
So
been fun.
I'm
So-
super stoked to give us a go. But go ahead, Zach. Sorry.
Yeah, before we head out, just kind of close it out, and we mentioned it 100 times. What do you all have going on? I know you have the eBay thing here. If you all want to plug your Trippy Eyes, I know that you have multiple kind of things going on because I'll see other comments from other pages saying, "Hey, 2 spots left." So yeah, plug what you have going on, and let the people hear.
Yep. So like right now we have the eBay break, which is the auction should be ending within an hour or so, and that's going live tonight. We also have the Fire Factory mini helmet, and that's on our Facebook, one of our Facebook breaks. And we also have little like a Raz raffle style thing where you can get in and top roll wins. You can pick a choice of memorabilia or card.
Yeah.
But that's what we got going on now.
That's fun stuff.
Check out our group, Trippy Eyes Breaks. We put up new stuff all the time.
I think this weekend we're gonna try a new playoff bet.
Yeah, we're gonna do some playoff bets, like final score, things like that.
With like a buy-in, so you can, and it's kind of cool. It's like you don't have to guess the exact score, but if your number, how's it gonna go?
You add up the final score, and if you get your number is 8 or 9, and the final score is 28, like 8. If your number was 8, you would win.
Not one of those boxes.
Things like that. It's fun. Only 10 spots.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Maybe we could plug that on our socials before so
Yeah.
it hits out before we get this all edited. So
Yeah.
Yeah. See what we can do. All right, folks.
awesome.
Well, it was awesome talking with you all.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So the rule is now that you're a recurring guest. So anytime we want to bring you on, you have to come on. So
I love it.
We'll send you some shirts
What's
too.
fun?
Well, I appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Very awesome to speak to you both.
Yeah,
Yeah,
y'all have a
y'all
great rest of
too.
your night.
Thanks for the opportunity. I had a lot of fun.
Nice.
All right,
Awesome.
talk
y'all.
soon.
We'll be sending you out some more hits.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I'll be opening a box soon. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Do it. Do a
All right.
live open.